How's it going? My name is Jack King. I'm a sophomore here at the University of Oklahoma, a part of Religion in Everyday Life, and this is a presentation about the religion of Agami Jawi. The Agami Jawi religion belongs to the people of Java, or the Javanese. Java is an island located in southern Indonesia, which is marked by the red, and the Javanese people make up around 40% of the population in Indonesia, making it one of the largest ethnic groups in that region. Out of this 40%, 30% of the Javanese population follow the religion of Agami Jawi, while 60% are Muslim, and the rest of the 10% are mixes of Catholics and Buddhists and Hindus. Now for the key term, there's one saying that I've come up with that can describe the religion of Agami Jawi. What came to mind was all in one. The meaning behind all in one will become more apparent as the presentation goes on, but just keep that saying in the back of your head throughout the duration of this presentation. So to get a good understanding of the Agami Jawi, first you must have an understanding of how religion started with the Javanese culture. From the earliest of days, the Javanese focused their religion around ancestors, spirits, and magic within natural phenomena. Once the island of Java began to be involved with trade parties with South India, the island was exposed to Hinduism. This is where the elements of Agami Jawi associated with Hinduism can be traced to. Buddhism also made its way onto the island not too long after Hinduism did. Agami Jawi, down to its core, is a good mix of Hinduism, Buddhism, and the previous religion of ancestors that the Javanese associated with. As times have gone on, Islam has begun to sneak its way into this religion. So present-day Agami Jawi is a mix of all three of those religions with its own twists and turns. Now for non-human actors, let's talk about some of the non-human actors. As mentioned previously, in the early stages of Agami Jawi religion, the spirits of their ancestors played a big role in the lives of the Javanese. They would try to please and honor them with their lifestyles. Also mentioned before, nature was a big part of the origins of the religion. The Javanese believed that the involvement with nature was favorable towards their spirits. The biggest one is the belief in Allah. Agami Jawi has inherited the belief in Allah and Muhammad, the Prophet, as the religion has evolved. There's a bunch of Islamic elements to the religion, much more than there was in its early stages. When it comes to religious architecture, from the 8th century to about the 15th century, many temples were built throughout the island of Java. The biggest and most important of the temples being called the Borobudur Temple right outside of Magelang, Java. This is also the largest stupa in the world. Temples would be the meeting grounds for the Agami Jawi leadership to meet and make decisions while followers could come and worship. Also, every single town on the island of Java contains a mosque. This is where the Muslim side of the Agami Jawi is shown. When it comes to sacred sites, Borobudur, as mentioned before, is very special to the Agami Jawi religion as it is one of the earliest temples built and the biggest one. It is also located in central Java, so therefore it is easily accessible from all over the island. A lot of the temples found on the island are built in the style of Mount Meru. This is the centerpiece of Indian mythology, and it represents the axis of the world. For sacred texts, I couldn't find a specific text that the Agami Jawi religion bases its moral code off of, but I was able to find that there are a bunch of texts in which Indian mythology is portrayed, and this is where Agami Jawi bases a lot of its ancestral beliefs off of. However, a good portion of Agami Jawi religion followers follow the text of the Quran. When it comes to music, the Javanese people participate in music called gamelan. Gamelan consists of gongs and many different percussion instruments made of metal. A cool thing about gamelan and how it ties into Agami Jawi is that there is no conductor. The players within the group have to feel comfortable with each other's rhythm and follow along with each other. They have to have a connection that is not like anything else. This shows the sense of togetherness that the Agami Jawi religion prides itself in, and the sense of spirit within one another. Here's an example of a piece of gamelan. As you can see, they are in rhythm almost perfectly without a conductor. That takes a lot of practice, skill, and connection with one another. Now, for religious art and artistic traditions, one of the artistic traditions that kind of flows with what we were just talking about is dancing. There will be different ceremonies and rituals that the Javanese people will dance to the music of gamelan. Different religious celebrations and holidays are associated with dances. There is also another piece of art that holds religious significance to the Agami Jawi religion. These are puppets. We'll take a deeper dive into puppets later on in the presentation in the symbols section. When it comes to sacred objects, this is where you see the Buddhism and Hinduism start to show through the religion of Agami Jawi. Flowers, lamps, and trees are some of the sacred objects that hold near and dear to Agami Jawi followers. Those are particularly special to Hinduism as well, and that's where you can see the importance of Hinduism in Agami Jawi. Vases, umbrellas, and stupas are also pretty important. Those come from the Buddhist influence on Agami Jawi. Puppets are also sacred, but as mentioned before, those will get its own section in the symbols portion of the presentation. Now, when it comes to rites of passage, I'm sure that there are many rites of passage that are celebrated within the Agami Jawi religion, but there are two big ones that I found. One is that 35 days after birth, the family holds a big celebration with food, drinks, dancing, and gamelan. The other rite of passage is marriage. Marriage is important within the Javanese community in the Agami Jawi religion. However, contrary to popular belief, these marriages don't have to be arranged. Sure, there's still some arranged marriages, but it's not a must like it is in some cultures and religions. When it comes to holidays, in Agami Jawi, holidays are called Dino Mulio. This means noble days. These are the days where your only purpose for that day is to worship your Creator and your ancestors and spirits. They also observe Ramadan, Bodhi Day, and Diwali. Religious leaders. In my research, it was hard to find who the specific leaders of these religions were. The heads of the temples had to have been up there in status. Obviously, you have Allah, Muhammad, and ancestors, but when it comes to actual humans that are alive, from my research, I have only found priest-like leaders who are at the temples and serve in priest roles of prayer, sacrifice, and helping others in the religion of Agami Jawi. For rituals, kind of circling back to a few things that have been talked about already, but two of the biggest rituals are dancing to gamelan and the 35-day afterbirth celebration. One of the biggest rituals that hasn't been mentioned yet is meditation. Meditation is a massive part of the life of an Agami Jawi follower. Meditation and prayer can take up hours upon hours of the day for most followers, and it is their outlet to be able to connect with Allah, Muhammad, nature, and the spirits of their ancestors. This leads us into symbols. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, there are many symbols that are associated with Agami Jawi. Flowers, lamps, trees, umbrellas, vases, and stupas, just to name a few. But for this section, I want to focus on puppets. Puppets are one of the ways that we can see the Hinduism aspect of Agami Jawi come to light, as Hinduism is big on puppets. But the puppets of Agami Jawi have significant meaning. Every single household and person in this religion probably has multiple. The main reason for these puppets is that they represent their dead ancestors and their spirit. I hope the message has been pounded into your heads by this part of the presentation that ancestors and their spirits are a vital part of the Agami Jawi religion, and it is the basis for much of the religion agendas. These puppets in size can range from something that you can fit on your nightstand to life-sized. Now you can see how integral these puppets are to the Agami Jawi religion and how much it means to them to see their ancestors live through them. When it comes to the roles of genders, you need to think back to the early times in which Jesus was around. To this day, the woman should be of the assistance to a man. The woman is supposed to hold the household down and get everything around the estate and get done everything around the estate while the man is at work, providing for the family. When it comes to meditation, they are both expected to meditate equally in the same amount of time each day. It's just where this time is allotted and where it's different. So we have tackled a lot about the religion of Agami Jawi in this presentation. However, it shouldn't really be anything new, as the basis of the religion is pulled from 3 other religions and spun into its own religion. Now remember what I said earlier about all in one? I hope it makes a little more sense now. The Agami Jawi religion ties 3 different religions plus Indian mythology all into one religion. And it's not just that makes up the statement all in one. It's how the people of Agami Jawi live their lives. They live in harmony with one another and their ancestors. They cannot survive on their own, and they need one another for rituals, prayer, and community. After this research, I have a newfound respect for the religion of Agami Jawi and the uniqueness of it. And if I have concluded one thing from this presentation, it is that the Javanese people and followers of Agami Jawi are all in one. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it and were able to learn a little bit about this Indonesian religion called Agami Jawi. Here are the sources I used to complete this presentation. Thank you for listening.